Anime is hand-drawn and computer animation originating from Japan. In Japanese, anime, a term derived from the English word animation, describes all animated works, regardless of style or origin. Outside of Japan, anime refers specifically to animation produced in Japan, or to its common style, which has since been adopted by a minority of works produced in other countries. Anime is a diverse medium with distinctive production methods that have adapted in response to emergent technologies. It combines graphic art, characterization, cinematography, and other forms of imaginative and individualistic techniques. Compared to Western animation, anime production generally focuses less on movement and more on the detail of settings and the use of camera effects, such as panning, zooming, and angle shots. Diverse art styles are used, and character proportions and features can be quite varied, with a common characteristic feature being large and emotive eyes.
Another thing anime has a lot of is moments. Some of these moments are sad, others are happy. And then there are moments that make you go, bruh. In this video, we are going to go over the 10 greatest bruh moments in anime. A word of warning before we commence. This list will have spoilers for anime, so if you're new to it, you may want to hold off this video until you're done. Also, before we begin, this list isn't in any sort of order. Don't worry if your favorite moment is lower than another. The only thing you should worry about is if your favorite moment isn't in the list, in which case, it's insignificant.
Number 10. The Death of the Headless Knight in Castlevania. Castlevania. When Simon Castlevania, the main character of the Castlevania anime series, stumbles upon a town with a monster problem, he is convinced by the non-evil priest to find the head priest's granddaughter. But he's not told that she's held by a crazy Cyclops because the priest didn't know that was the case, so Simon is taken by surprise. Simon isn't surprised that the Cyclops turns people to stone, because he played the video game the Castlevania anime series was partly inspired by, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. But anyways, he eventually kills the Cyclops and the granddaughter is changed out of stone to normal human parts. In the Cyclops' lair, there's a lot of dead guys who've been turned to stone, including this knight with no head. I was hoping that we'd get a neat little character arc where the headless knight joins Simon's epic quest, maybe even gets his head back, but the writers took the lazy route and killed off this character who had so much ahead of him. So yeah, that was a bro moment.
Number 9. When Aang was so stupid that he thought people would live for 100 years. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Aang from The Last Airbender was pretty cool, but with his wind powers and all. But he was a real dumbass. He was in ice for 100 years, which is why he looks like a child instead of a corpse. But Aang thought that people who weren't in the ice would survive for hundreds of years. He goes to the Air People's kick-ass mountain house trying to meet Old Man Gringok, an air master who was already pretty old when he was hanging out with Aang, and expects him to be alive over 100 years later. Idiot. I was pretty psyched to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender after a friend was like, yeah, I guess it was kinda like anime, but man, Aang was really stupid. Aang also figured it out the hard way again after he died of old age less than 100 years ago. That sentence contains spoilers for the sequel to Avatar, the TV show, so if you haven't watched the sequel yet, try to forget it. Also, before I forget, bruh.
Number 8. The Scarred Guy kills a child who has been turned into a dog. Full Metal Alchemist. In the show Full Metal Alchemist, or as the fans know it, FMA, the Full Metal Alchemist is a dude named Edward whose arm and leg have been replaced with a highly advanced metal prosthetic. It's never really important to the plot, but it's pretty nifty, so I thought I'd tell you about it anyway. So Edward finds a crazy magic scientist who makes these people-animal hybrids. I don't remember what he calls them, but the dude is pretty messed up, so he eventually turns his daughter into a human-animal combination. It's pretty messed up, and it affects Edward and his brother Larry or something. It affects him pretty bad. There's also this guy with a scar on his face that makes an X. He's got red eyes, which sucks for him because in the FMA universe, the regular people are racist toward red-eyed people. But he finds the human dog mix in an alley and sees that it's sad or something, so he kills it out of mercy. That's gonna be a bruh from me.
Number 7, Death Note, 2017.
Number 6. That time that I found out that the Metal Gear anime poster I found was just a fan creation, not a poster for an actual anime that was being made. Undeveloped Metal Gear Solid anime. So I'd gotten to play Metal Gear Solid 5 on the Xbox Game Pass, and after playing it, I scoured the internet to find more about the Metal Gear series, because, it was pretty cool. I eventually found the Reddit site for Metal Gear, and while I was on there, I found this poster. After looking at the title of the post, I was able to deduce that it was fan-made and not an announcement for an anime about the Metal Gear Solid universe, like I initially thought it was. And in my head, I was like, bruh, that's a shame.
Number 5, The World Ends. The World Ends With You, the animation, 2021. Now this anime hasn't come out yet, but it's based off a video game that has come out before. Several times now, actually. And what's the title of the video game, you may ask? Well, if you have to ask, just rewind the video, by 30 seconds, cause we just said it, dip ass. But in The World Ends With You, the world ends, I think. I never played it. But I took basic mathematics in child school, so I can put 2 and 2 together. It's called The World Ends With You, right? So therefore, the world at some point ends. Ending the world would certainly elicit a bruh, in my professional opinion.
Number 4. The Flood are released by the Covenant. That one Halo anime. So once they tried to make Halo an anime, and they succeeded in making it. It seemed redundant to me, but I wasn't on the team, because I was a child, and I hadn't heard of Halo yet. Anyway, in Halo, there's these space dudes, and they're called the Covenant. They're a bunch of aliens that use teamwork to kill humanity. After a little bit of intergalactic warfare, they discover this huge planet-shaped ring that they make a religion about. Issue is that on the ring is these parasitic dudes that take over your mind, and they're called the Flood, because there's bunches of them. By landing on the rings, the Covenant let the Flood out. If the Covenant weren't completely obsessed with the ring, the Flood wouldn't have gotten out. Oh, and the kicker is that the rings are designed to kill every living thing in the universe, basically. Fortunately, Master Chief, the protagonist of the Halo series, prevents the ring from going off. We almost had 2 bra moments from the same anime.
Number 3, JoJo's magic teacher turns out to be 50. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. If you're a fan of anime, you probably remember JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There are 3 JoJos that go on a bizarre adventure, but as fans of the show may have deduced, we're here to talk about the second JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not to spoil anything, but crazy shit happens to JoJo, and he has to go to an island. While he was there, he met the Hammond teacher Lisa. Hammond is like breathing magic, but that's irrelevant. As Hammond is vital to saving the world, JoJo needs to know how to use it. But that's the issue. He doesn't know how to use it. He is introduced to the woman Lisa. Lisa doesn't look old, but when it's revealed that she's 50, on the inside, JoJo was probably thinking what we were all thinking. Bruh.
Number 2. 70% of Earth's population is killed. One Punch Man. One Punch Man takes place on Earth, a detail you may have noticed in this brief cutaway at the end of Season 1. As you might imagine, there's people on Earth. But here's the twist. Some of the people are significantly more powerful than the rest. One exciting example is this. While the average human's baseball bat is made of wood, this guy's bat is made of metal. With heroes this bombastic, you'd think it would be hard to top any of them. But that's just what One Punch Man does. The show has hero, Saitama, who can kill anything in one punch. That's pretty cool, and it's what got me hooked in the start. But eventually, Saitama goes to sleep, and when he wakes up, there's the huge mole people. They have a huge cinematic fight, and it's pretty epic. But before they fight, they say something. The moles say that 70% of all people died.
Since we began our invasion operation, 70% of the surface dwellers have died.
I'm a people, so I took great offense at this. I'm not going to sit through a show where 70% of all people die, so I promptly turned it off and haven't so much as thought about it since.
Before we reveal the number 1 spot, let's delve into the honorable mentions. Weathering with You, climactic scene. Roof scene, erased. The maid watch scene in the P5A. Before we get to the number 1 spot, be sure to like, comment, and all that jazz. 1. Shin Megami breaks his pen like it's a twig. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Kaguya-sama, Love is War is a brilliant anime chock full to the brim with various themes. Themes like love, war, and anime. In the anime, 2 students fight crazy intellectual battles trying to get the other to make the first move in their budding romance. Aside from its genius cure intellectual battles rivaling that of Death Note and the popular one poker fight in JoJo, it is also good for a laugh or two. However, there's one scene in particular that raises thought-provoking questions about the world of Kaguya-sama. The scene in episode 1 where he snaps a writer's pen. The question in question is, how did he do that? If the pen's made of metal, is Sagayama super strong? We may never know. And for that, I'm going to have to give this entire anime 7.5 bras out of 9.
So that concludes the bro moments. Our job here is done, but there's a lot that you can do. If you like the video, let us know by liking the video. Or maybe even leave a comment. If you're feeling particularly touched by this video and want to burn some bridges, share it with your friends and family. They'll never speak to you again, but it'll spread the word about this channel. I've never written a conclusion to a video before, so I'm just not going to conclude this video in a satisfying way.